can't find a trusted mechanic. I was laid out of my workplace in 2014, but we don't run away from the mess. I understand what it is moving out as a 9 to 5 person to 24 hours staying at home. That a mechanic can solve all your problems.
Welcome to Catalyzing.
On today's episode, we take a look at the engineering industry, particularly the automotive and electrical industry, a sector valued over $1 trillion in world revenue. Today, we look at the enterprising believers of Canicus and Callixtus of Cancal Engineering as they share their combined experience of close to 30 years in the electrical and automotive industry. Tell us about the industry.
Okay, Cancal Engineering is just basic name Canisius and Callixtus Engineering. We are both engineers. He's the electrical expert and I'm the mechanical expert. We started off as Callixtus Electrical Technologies, where we do electrical services for industries, specifically for industries. Up until 2022, we focused on renewable energy, and we understood that there is need for renewable energy taking over the industry. So we have to catch our own niche, shape out our own customers in this industry. Then Cancal Engineering was great. And so we had it from the set go. The very day we joined the engineering business is there will be a partnership. So we intentionally used our first 8 years to go individually, and then he went into the electrical aspect to work on that people, while I went to mechanical aspect to work on that people. I said, okay, it's now time for, with the experience that we gain, let's build the let's do the business together and build the partnership. So mechanical side is to manage the electric vehicle parts, while the mechanical part is to manage the solar industry part. So what we see in the future is to build an industry where all solution provided mechanically, electrically, all enclosed in being in global space and saving the global entity with renewable energy. So it's been successful all around, and then it's been good where my experience is needed in his aspect or his own experience needed in my aspect. We just come in. But the bottom line is it's been successful all the way, and we've been grateful about it. So the mechanical aspect is we deal about automobile, we're into the automobile industry where we repair cars, we sell cars, and mostly we do maintenance, and then we do consultation also with the modern day tools of automobile industry, even going to the EV aspect also, but building ourselves also to manage that space.
When did you realize it's a business and no longer a hustle?
The very day I realized this is a business, not just an hustle, is the day I was sent to military hospital. The general I went to work then was a lieutenant colonel. I went to work then for. He has been complaining about this problem for a long period, so I had the opportunity to meet him, and I fixed that problem in less than 25 minutes. With all humility, I'm not being bragged about it. Why? Because of the experience, I know what to do. So I solved that problem for 25 minutes, and the man was very fair. I realized this when I knew that I started rendering services. After delivering it, the man called me. They've installed, they've commissioned. The man called me and said one of the circuit breakers has a problem. The location was around Awoyaya. Our office at that time is around Alagbado. I called my colleague, got the breaker, and we drove straight down to replace it. On our way, I realized that this is no one else also. This is business. We cannot afford any excuses. We cannot afford telling a customer that we delivered, we cannot give you after sales services. No. The after sales services has to be to the very end. I saw that solving people's problem has been a joy, when it comes to right, they've been looking for how to solve this problem for a longer period. And then I remember it's a project 307, and then he was very happy. I said, okay, if I think I can do this as a business, do much more, train myself much more in it to expand more in the business and see how well I can expand and grow.
What values do you hold on to and how has it cost you?
Do it well the first time. Your work is expensive. This is um this is a quote I learned when I was learning this job with Siemens company. It's a very long technician. Sticking to our values, because recently, I think 2 weeks ago, a client said I need to do a refund for repairs done on our vehicle. I said, yes, we can do a refund. What exactly is the problem? So we told her we had gave her the advice, but after much negotiations and the rest, I will give her warranty on that particular repairs. So it never happened. The part failed, and then we just told her, you know what, we will not go ahead and repairing this. We need to replace. But if you're not comfortable with it, we'll do a refund to you. And surprisingly, they are good. Surprisingly, she mentioned that we're going to. She requested for the refund. I said, no problem, we'll do the refund. And we'll give her the refund. So sometimes our values cost us much. So I personally took this as a standard for ourselves, because when we are starting that job, we have to do it well. We want to work. You're spending the time, you're spending the money, you're spending the resources at that period. So it's expensive to work. Well, it's very well that your values should go in, because you know very well that if you lost here, your name still stands firm, because the profit you get from your name and your brand is far higher than whatever profit you make. So because we believe our values, there are cases whereby we've met a lot of people in the industry that their requests is out of proportion. So because of our values, we rather let it go. So we've tried as much as we can to know those things that we are chasing. So those things that we are chasing, this helps us to know the kind of fight that we have to fight in the industry. So when I mean fight, the kind of business we have to go. It's not all kind of business we want to chase. It's not all kind of deals that we want to go for. And because of our values, we try as much as possible to make sure we don't propel ourselves where we're in a position where they're saying we should inflate and stuff like that. So our values are not cut off for that. So if we have that kind of feelings, or we have that kind of information about things like that, we'll find our way to we'll find ourselves and position ourselves where we try it as much as possible to avoid such business, because at the long run, it doesn't speak well about the industry, it doesn't speak well about ourselves, and it doesn't speak well of the value that we always want to propel. Then there are cases whereby we get opportunities, we get those deals. Our values are, we want to showcase our values, we tend to go above the budget. Yes, we do go above the budget just to make sure that our standard is being kept and the quality control of that job is never shortened.
What was your biggest shock in the industry?
So in our industry, one thing people have been saying very well is mostly car users. They keep saying that fear mechanics. I never see a trusted mechanic. Why? Because they had different stories, they've had different experiences. So, but when I came into this business, I said one thing I'll keep for myself is integrity. Integrity, be open enough to your customers, let them know the truth about what is their problem, and let them know the options they have in solving this problem. So integrity is keyword we use in our business, because there's every opportunity to be dishonest about it. But we try to make sure that integrity is a word, to be trustful and be sincere when dealing with clients, because their cars are their tool and their assets where they've spent money fixing it. So we try our best to make sure giving them the real world. Our word is our bond, and making sure that the money spent on their car is worth it. So the very first business shock in the industry. I remember the call from a friend of mine. We used to work together, but now he's out of the country. called me to ask me if I can provide the service for their company, and I told him yes. So I thought it was a joke. 2 days after that call, his boss called me. I was on a trip from Owerri to Lagos, on my way to the airport, when he called and asked me if I'm the owner of that offer I'll be tendered. I said yes. Surprisingly, he said I should revise the offer with a pro forma invoice. So I had to enter one of those stores that they used to have in the airport, pull out my system, and I made the PFI. I sent it to them. The next day, before 10 a.m., I saw an email with their purchase order, instructing me to sign so that they can mobilize. So it's quite shocking for me, because this is a deal that took less than 1 week compared to where we're chasing opportunities for 2 months, 3 months. And that one really shaped me, because I took it serious, and since then, those guys has been one of our top vendors. So
What is the biggest lie in your industry?
I say technical people lies a lot. They don't always say the truth. They give excuses. The biggest lie people believe in our industry is you can't find a trusted mechanic. And then a particular brand of vehicles, some people keep saying that a mechanic can solve all your problems. But what we try to do very well in our business is to change that narrative. Change that narrative in the sense that being sincere with them, letting them know that this is the advice we'll give you for this brand of car you're using. This is a particular advice we can give you, exact advice. So we'll make sure that narrative changes and it boils down to being sincere. We find ourselves in an environment where we meet untrusted people. I agree, there are people that that are not trustworthy. But when you meet trustworthy technicians, engineers, when they give technical reasons, there are reasons that are really, really inclined to that solution that they are providing. So this shouldn't be tied to lies. But I believe that instead of giving just flimsy excuses, if things are properly done, things are properly outlined, things are properly shaped out the way it's expected, when you're being paid advance, when you're supposed to do your procurement, when you're supposed to do your designs, when you're supposed to collate your materials, assembling of the work you're supposed to do, mobilization to site and stuff like that. If these things are properly outlined in the project schedule, I think everything should work according to plan. So
Building your brand and managing your reputation.
very small compared to those big names. That's the truth. But like I said earlier, we tried as much as possible to catch our niche, catch our own customers, and let them understand that our solutions are way better and suits what they need. So the sky is very, very wide for all of those brands and every other competitors to compete. But we try as much as possible to make sure that space and those set of customers that we've gotten, we want to keep them. We want to build them, build our relationship with them, keep them for better businesses and better referrals. Because I'm following a model from day one, I already know very well that this brand will grow, and I've been intentional about it from day one. So the intention has always been building an environment where we have people who take up roles. But by the time we realize that the overhead is way more than what we could imagine, we have to start taking them by experience. So in building our brand, we've always been leveraging our references, and our sales team is very slim. I mean, very slim. So we're intentional about it by making sure that every services that we render should speak about anyone that is coming in. It helps my thinking every day, helps my solving problems every day. Even when I do home service with my clients, it was intentional. Keep the timing, fix the problem, the beautiful labor. So it was our core values: one, integrity, respect. So it has been intentional from day one. I already know very well that And also, it's been shaped by experiences. But when you make mistakes every day, you just keep going and say, okay, this is an experience that I will not repeat it. So it's been intentional from the first to say, our solutions today can be a recommendation for someone for tomorrow. For us, for that tomorrow, which is the future, we want to make that solution to be better than what's this. Yeah, reputation is built much more on how you handle success and how you handle mess, because definitely there'll be mess in the business. It might not be your cause, it might be your staff, it might be unforeseen circumstances, but you don't run away from the mess. You stay in the mess, make sure is well organized, and then come out of, because out of that mess can be self-oriented. So we learn more from our mess. And in our industry too, majority of the mess has been caused by previous mechanics or where they are coming from. So we try to make sure we rearrange those things to make sure they don't go back with the mess. It becomes a success story. Reputation is built in both ways, because there's good side of the story and there are bad side of the story. So it's every success ties around how you manage your failures. So your reputation starts from how you build your failures. So when you've been trying as much as you can and you're failing, it's expected for you not to stop trying. You keep on trying until when the success comes. When the success comes, that's where people see that your reputation is being built properly. But how do you manage it? That's another way. You're managing your success properly. It speaks well of how God has really, really shaped you to become who you are. So this also ties around the relationship you have.
How did you operate in your early years, and what are your leadership lessons?
So in the early days, like I said before, we've been majorly working in referral. So what I used to do, I'm the sales guy. I'm also the lead technical guy as I do at time. So if we go, when we get those opportunities, we try to tell the customer that we can deploy them. When I mean deploy, if we're asked to assemble those panels, we want to tell them that we can install them, also commission them. So we want to give a complete solution. So at the point of executing these things on site, we meet a lot of other subcontractors. While we're meeting these subcontractors, they ask about us, we tell them what we do, we exchange contacts. One way to another, they lead us to people, and that's how we've been building our customers. So one of the leadership challenges I've faced and lesson I learned recently was when I was working with a brand. The apprentice there, I noticed very well, the mechanical employee comes through. They may employ mechanics through apprenticeship. The mechanics go through the apprenticeship for 4 years, and after 4 years, they just employ them directly. So when I had a conversation with them, those mechanics, I understood very well that they know the job, practical aspect of the job, but they don't know the theoretical aspect. So I said, okay, this I can, and I know very well about the theoretical aspects. I said, okay, this set of apprentices that are in the organization, I'll volunteer to lead them, teach them the practical aspect and also the theoretical aspect of it. So it took part of my time, but what I learned very well that period of time was remarkable. All young people are willing to learn, and up till this date, they are wishful and grateful for what I've taught them in that end of the theoretical aspect. So it gave me that leadership nudge of how to lead people in class, in workshop, and even be a role model to them. Is when I'm not available and there's a decision to make. If I've not been able to be reached on the phone, and my lead engineer needs to make a decision, sometimes it's dicey for me. So I've tried as much as possible to put him in this position whereby if I'm not there, take up those decisions. Take up, even if it's going to be risky, it's going to be risky. That's why the word risky is there. Take up the risk, because there are cases whereby we've lost an opportunity because you could not reach me in making that decision. It was bad, but so I learned it late because I felt I could do all those things around myself alone. So when we had that lost, I now realized that I need to start growing the people around me. terms of giving them some leadership responsibilities. And for the challenge we face in our business, where to some extent, you're under pressure to deliver a car. Sometimes you do a wrong budget. And why even not just even just wrong budget. While repairing the car, you notice some other things are bad and you don't want to run back to the client to tell the client that one or two things are faulty, or there's a mistake in the workshop and somebody damaged some things. Most times we take it upon ourselves to make sure everything is fixed. So what we do very well here is we'll make sure everything is fixed, even if it gets to more than the budget or eating up of our profit. We'll make sure it is fixed. Solve that problem first. And once you know very well that problem is solved, you can easily call the client and say, okay, you know what, we'll solve the problem, and then we'll add an extra cost.
Your approach to networking.
Networking is key. Networking is like a ladder. Networking is a chain. My approach to networking is our business most times has to do with referral. And so in business, one of the biggest mode of advertising is a customer tells a customer, a friend tells a friend, which is a word of mouth approach. So because of that, we try to make sure every customer we meet, we value them. We just know very well that, and we tell them, please refer us and do what to refer us to somebody. So, which has been one of the biggest way of our growth. So you need to build trust. So building trust starts with you. So are you trustworthy? If you're trustworthy, yes, networking is very important because we can't do away with networking in this industry. So I'll give you an instance. In our own industry, where we have the people that handles the solar industry part, we'll have the people that handles the battery part, we'll have the people that handles the cabling, we'll have the people that handles the mechanical, the civil work. If we're in a position where we can handle all of this work contracting, we have to network ourselves, strategize ourselves to put ourselves in such positions. So we'll have to be trustworthy. Yes, and the mode of how we network is when I'm opportunity to go to trainings, conferences, I just refer myself as a mechanic, despite and people like, why do you call yourself a mechanic? That's a common word they all know us as for our business. So I choose not to push the word engineer or push the word specialist. I just know mechanic.
What is your Jesus story?
Knowing who Jesus is, and up to the point that I realized that when I knew that I really needed Jesus was when I was laid out of my workplace in 2014. My Jesus story is I can't remember the month exactly, but I know it's year 2009 in Kaduna. I was sent to do a training in Pojo for 9 months, and after the program, every day I just go back to my hostel. And a friend of mine just said, okay, you know what, instead of just going back to stay at home, I just joined me for the service this evening. So I went to their weekday service. I enjoyed the service. It was a remarkable one. I've never been in such atmosphere before. And then after that day, in the weekend, I gave my life to Christ. This is not as a 9 to 5 person to 24 hours staying at home. That period was very depressing. So I had to I understand what it is, that period, making sure that I have to be closer to Jesus, more closer to Him. So I was at home just a few weeks, and I had the call to resume again in the same place, but this time as a contract employer. This period, it wasn't as good as it used to be, but the transition from that time to where I am now, I think it's something I can never take for granted because Jesus has already shown who He is, and He has been an impactful story for my life.
Did you have mentors and models when starting out?
Yes, I have a model and also have a mentor. Currently still going through those two models. I have a mentor. Growing up, after that period when I lost my job, I got this job through my mentor. So when I lost it, I called him that we've lost the job. He kept encouraging me that that's not the end of life. So one way or the other, he calls me for some little things, calls me out to buy me a drink so that I will not be isolated at home. So when he left his own paid employment to set up his own business, he brought me in also. So at that point in time, we had a very close relationship to see how he's building his business. And this was how the mentorship really grew on with. And I also have a mentor that I want to for advice and for directions. And it's very important. Note that Jesus is our role model for that. And also every model I have, or every mentor I have, is from the leading of the Holy Spirit also. So I go to them, I have a branch, I have a model I follow, and also have a mentor I run to. So